Breaking the silence isn't easy. People who have never lived through violence don't understand what it means to take that step. It's not just about leaving. It's not just about speaking up. It's about facing years of fear, manipulation, and guilt. It's about confronting that voice in your head that keeps whispering that without them, you won't survive, that no one will believe you, that you'll end up alone. But that fear isn't yours. It was planted in you. And the guilt you feel doesn't belong to you either. It's part of the cycle. Silence in an abusive relationship or home isn't peace. It's survival. You stay quiet to avoid an argument, a look, a reaction. You stay quiet because you know that any word can be used against you. You stay quiet because you've learned that your calm depends on their mood. But every time you stay quiet, a part of you fades. And one day, you don't even know if you're silent out of fear or out of habit. Leaving the cycle of violence doesn't start with an open door. It starts with an open awareness. It begins the day you stop justifying what cannot be justified. The day you look in the mirror and no longer recognize who you were before all this. The day you ask yourself when love started to hurt so much. And even though leaving seems scarier than staying, there comes a moment when your soul simply can't take it anymore. Violence doesn't just destroy relationships, it destroys identities. It convinces you that you deserve the way you're treated. It makes you feel guilty for reacting, for defending yourself, for having boundaries. It teaches you to say, "It wasn't that bad. I yelled too. Maybe I'm overreacting." But abuse doesn't need justification. If it hurts, if it makes you afraid, if it makes you hide who you are, that's enough reason to go. And yet, guilt shows up. The guilt for thinking of yourself, for setting boundaries, for breaking the silence. Because for so long, you were taught that love means endurance, that staying is noble. But it's not. Love isn't endurance. Love isn't self-sacrifice. Love isn't silence to keep the peace. Love is also saying enough when something is destroying you. Leaving the cycle of violence requires understanding something essential. You can't save someone who doesn't want to change. You can love, you can forgive, you can wish them well, but you can't heal in the same place that made you sick. The hope that this time it will be different is the chain that holds you there, because every promise of change becomes another chance for the cycle to start again. And there you are, trying to rescue someone who doesn't want to be rescued, justifying the unjustifiable, believing that if you do things better, you'll get back to how it used to be. But that before no longer exists, and neither does the person you were. And that's okay, because pain, even when it breaks you, also awakens you. Breaking the silence doesn't mean shouting your story to the world. It means finally telling it to yourself without fear. It means no longer minimizing it, no longer carrying guilt that isn't yours. It means acknowledging that you didn't deserve that treatment, that it wasn't your fault, that you did the best you could with what you had. People will ask, "Why didn't you leave sooner? Why did you stay so long? Why didn't you say anything?" They don't understand that fear doesn't work with logic. Leaving isn't about courage, it's about rebuilding yourself. You have to believe again that you can, that you're worthy, that you're enough. Because violence takes that from you. It takes your voice, your strength, your clarity. That's why leaving starts in the mind before it starts at the door. It begins when you stop doubting your emotions, when you start talking, maybe with a friend, a therapist, someone who listens without judgment. Speaking heals, silence hurts. And every time you tell your story, guilt loses power. Breaking the silence isn't just freeing yourself from another person, it's freeing yourself from the version of you that got used to fear. It's healing your mind from the idea that you need permission to be at peace. That takes time. There will be days when you feel guilty, weak, confused, but there will also be days when you breathe deeper, sleep better, and feel proud of having said enough. Guilt is the abuser's most powerful weapon. It makes you believe you're the one who ruined everything, when in reality, you are the one trying to survive. No one should ever feel guilty for saving themselves. Every time you speak up, set a boundary, or walk away, you're telling the world, no more. You're breaking the pattern. You're coming back to yourself. Maybe you still love them. Maybe part of you wishes they'd change. That's normal. The bond doesn't disappear with logic. It fades with time, with distance, with self-care. You don't need to hate to heal. You just need to let go. Let go of the need to fix them. Let go of the fear of being alone. Let go of the belief that you deserve painful love. And one day, without realizing it, the fear will start losing its strength. You'll laugh again without guilt. You'll sleep without checking your phone. You'll remember who you were before you had to live in defense mode. And that day, you'll understand you didn't lose anything by leaving. You got your life back. Breaking the silence isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new one. It's the moment you stop surviving and start living. It's when guilt turns into power and fear turns into courage. It's when you look in the mirror and finally recognize someone strong, brave, and free. Talking about what you lived through might scare you, but your story can give strength to someone else. Because silence protects the abuser, but your voice can save you and others. No one has the right to silence you or make you feel small. And even if you don't believe it yet, there is a future where love doesn't hurt, where peace doesn't scare you, where freedom isn't a threat. You are not alone. Leaving the cycle doesn't mean forgetting. It means healing. It means understanding that what happened was real, that it hurt, that it marked you, but it doesn't define who you are. You are not your wound. You are your reconstruction. And every time you speak, every time you choose peace, you're writing a different story. Silence was once your way to survive, but now your voice will be your way to heal. Breaking it is the bravest thing you'll ever do, because speaking doesn't just set you free, it transforms you. And when your voice rises again, fear will finally know that it lost.